Dear esteemed students, I hope that you all are doing well. I hope that you're safe and healthy. Today I will be discussing Chapter 9, Meeting Essentials. The objectives. After completing this chapter, you should be able to describe the categories and frequency of meetings, explain the different styles of meetings, describe common types of electronic meetings, understanding the importance of being a good meeting participant, and plan, conduct, close, and follow up a meeting. Identify the special requirements of formal meetings. Basic meetings that we are aware of. These are the types. Frequency of meetings. You can see the people in the picture. Meeting styles, we're going to talk about that. Electronic meetings, which we will be doing later on this particular week or next week. We'll talk about the e-meetings. Participating in meetings. I will have you all participate in a Zoom conference meeting, which is essential for this particular time because of the coronavirus. We're going to meet via video conferencing. Follow-up meetings. Common meeting types. You have staff or team meetings. Group meetings are the same as team meetings. Status meetings. One-on-one meeting, especially if you have an interview, that would be a good example of a one-on-one meeting. Management meetings with your supervisor. And board meetings. Ad hoc meetings, those meetings that only occur once a year or during one-time event. Common meeting frequencies are one-time meetings. That's what I just mentioned. That's an ad hoc meeting when it's only one time. You hold it for like several hours for that particular day or for a span of several days. And one-time meetings could be a meeting with your group or a meeting with your supervisor. One-time meeting. And with you all in this class, I'm going to meet with you all virtually. And we're going to meet in Blackboard, virtual meeting in Blackboard. Recurring meetings, those that recur all of the time, frequently, every week or every other day, a frequent recurring meeting. They can be ongoing, it can be monthly, and have an ending date. Series of meetings. That's similar to a recurring meeting, but the topic discussed may be different or it may vary. Meetings are categorized according to the style or manner in which they are conducted. Informal meetings. Informal meetings mean it does not have to be formal. It's held in a relaxed setting without a rigid structure. If you are in a workplace, that would be a formal meeting. But if you're meeting through virtual meeting, that could be a relaxed setting. It's not a rigid structure. Typical of a staff or a team and status meeting. Formal meetings, like I just mentioned, those are the ones that are rigid. They're structured. You're meeting with your supervisor. That's a formal meeting. Typical of city council, board of directors, union, and stockholder meetings, or meeting with the president. Common types of electronic meetings, which we're going to be doing soon. Next week, I'm going to have us out there on Blackboard having to meet virtual meeting on Blackboard Collaborate. Voice and video chat. We'll be able to I don't know if you're going to be able to actually video chat with me, but I will make sure that I see what the components are for the virtual meeting. Teleconferencing, that's when you don't have to go and physically be in place of a meeting place. You just teleconference from your location to another person in their location. For example, when you're doing a Zoom conference, that's teleconferencing. You're at your home, I'm in my home. We're going to actually do a teleconference meeting as well. Video conferencing, where I see you and you see me. With the teleconferencing, you can talk on the phone. With the video conferencing, you actually see the person, and that's on a webcam. Oh, now we're talking about web conferencing. That's what we're doing. We're going to try to do. If I cannot see you, then that's okay. We'll just do teleconferencing. But I'm going to eventually have you all see me through web conferencing. The PBs of participating in meetings. This is slide number 8. You want to be present. You want to consider the meeting a serious commitment. You want to arrive on time or early. You want to be prepared mentally. Be prepared with all related items, documents. Be prepared to share your ideas. Be prepared to have an agenda. You should have an agenda before the meeting, what is going to be discussed. If not, just be prepared for your meeting. Be participatory. Be alert. Be interested. Contribute and take an active part. Take notes. It's so important to take notes in a meeting. Write down your questions and write down your any ideas that you have. Just take notes. If you don't take notes during a meeting, you will forget what you've actually discussed in the meeting. It's very important to take notes. Respect the thoughts of other people's opinions. I discussed this in my last lecture, that your opinion is your opinion. So you have to respect other people's opinions as well. Slide 9. Follow up. Your responsibility include review your notes, review the meeting summary or minutes, note any actions you have agreed to take. Take actions. Be prepared at the next meeting to report an action taken. And planning and conducting meetings. These are the basics for planning and conducting meetings. You plan the meeting, you conduct the meeting, you close the meeting, and you follow up the meeting. When I said follow up with the meeting, you want to make sure you have minutes that explain what was taking place at that meeting, what was discussed at that meeting. That's how you follow up, by providing minutes. As the meeting leader, if you're the meeting leader, you should clearly identify objectives. Determine the participants who will attend the meeting. Determine the time, place, and equipment needed. For example, those of you who are going to meet with me in Blackboard, you need to have access to your Blackboard app, or your have access to internet. You need to have access to a computer so you can be able to access the meeting on Blackboard through Blackboard Collaborate. So I will let you know the time, and I'll let you know what equipment is needed. You need to prepare the agenda when you're planning the meeting. As the meeting leader, you should, this is part of conducting the meeting, you need to start on time. You need to enlist the help of others, someone who can take notes, discuss the agenda items in the order listed, and encourage everyone to participate. Allow only one person to speak at a time. If you have several people talking, you cannot understand clearly what was discussed, so you have to speak one at a time. Keep the discussion on track and maintain order, meaning if we're talking about say, for example, we're talking about the meeting objectives to meet deadlines. There is no way you could talk about the weather when we're talking about meeting deadlines. Talking about the weather would not be on track. It would not be consistent to what the meeting discussion is. So you don't want to talk about something that is not on track about what you want to discuss in the meeting. Close the meeting. As the meeting leader, you should summarize all actions taken and responsibilities assigned. Ask for evaluation feedback. Close on a positive note. Everyone should feel confident that the meeting, everyone is in agreement. Have a consensus. Everyone agree and close on a positive note. And conclude the meeting at the stated time. If you said that you're going to start a meeting at 1, and you're going to conclude the meeting at 2, then you need to conclude the meeting at 2 o'clock. Follow-up activities. As the meeting leader, you want to distribute a summary or minutes. Remember, I mentioned the minutes. If somebody take the notes, somebody can type the minutes. Evaluate the effectiveness of the meeting. Verify that assigned duties are underway. So if you got assigned duties to distribute to the members about what they should do in the meeting, or what assigned duties they should take away from the meeting, then verify that. Food for thought. Describe a meeting in which you participated recently. Well, if you haven't participated in a meeting, we're going to participate next week, and we're going to come back with the same question. How effective was the meeting? How effective was the leader? Did you actively participate? Why or why not? And how productive was the meeting? So, why do you think electronic meetings are becoming more common in today's workplace? I'm going to come back and ask you these same two questions after we meet through Blackboard Collaborate or another form of video conferencing app. But 9 times out of 10, we're going to meet through Blackboard Collaborate or Zoom. Thank you, and I hope that your day goes well, and continue to work on your Chapter 9. And next time we will discuss Chapter 10, but work on your Chapter 9 case studies. And have a wonderful rest of the evening. Thank you. Goodbye.